welcome back to another speed build. Today I am building my first ever restaurant in Oasis Springs. I wanted this restaurant to be fancy and elegant with a modern exterior. I added a lot of black details with the black windows. I wanted to mess around a little bit with the overall shape of the building. I ended up adding little bump outs with like one tile walls and a platform on top. I thought it created a very interesting shape and was an overall nice detail. I think I also ended up adding landscaping, specifically bushes, in those little bump outs on the ground floor later on. As you can also see in the video, this restaurant is not very big, which honestly I think is better for gameplay. Sims take ages walking around big areas and I find it to be very annoying. So this is kind of a smaller build. I also ended up extending the top part of this build as well, as I wanted to add maybe a bigger table up top for parties. I don't think I ended up actually doing that. I think I ended up adding a little stage, a little platform stage up top, but we'll get back to this a bit later on in the video. As you can see, I ended up going with the stairs and the railings from Get Famous, which I don't use too often, but I thought they fit the vibe very well. They kind of light up and they look very sleek and modern. I also ended up putting the bathrooms upstairs, but I cut that part out because it's just a very simple bathroom. 2 toilets, 2 sinks, 2 doors. We'll also get onto the kitchen soon, and I really like using some clutter items from Dine Out. I'm aware that this pack came out ages ago, but I only own a few of the packs, and I recently got Dine Out. This is the first restaurant I actually built, and I think I did a pretty good job. Or at least I think so. I had a lot of fun building it, and I really want to build like a rooftop restaurant somewhere, maybe in San Myshuno, the city living world. I think that would look kind of cool, like a rooftop restaurant with maybe like a bar. I think that'd be kind of cool. I ended up using these great counters. They're from the base game. I never use them in any of my kitchens, mostly because I don't think they fit in with your average Sims house. I do believe they're unlocked from the culinary courier, but they are in the base game. But I don't think they really fit into most Sims houses. They look to be made out of either metal or maybe even like plastic, and personally I don't really see them fitting into the average Sims kitchen. I prefer to use like literally any other counter, but they worked perfectly fine here. Now I'm mostly placing some tables and seats and trying to figure out spacing. I thought about putting a bar into this build as well, but I think I ultimately decided against it. I don't think that a mixologist sim will spawn on this lot. I think you might have to hire one individually every time you come here, and that's just kind of annoying, so I got rid of it. I use a lot of oranges and warm tones too, which I don't usually do. I tend to use more kind of blues and greens in my builds because The Sims loves the color blue. I can't tell you when the last time I used orange in a build was, honestly. I really like these orange lights that I ended up using. You'll see it in the video, and I just really liked the pop of color that they added. I think I ended up placing them first and then completely basing the color scheme off of just that one light. Also, the floor I used here is from Vampires. I never thought I'd be using vampires in a restaurant, but I like the look of the sideway floorboards. I think they kind of add a nice little vibe to the place. It's a nice little detail. I also ended up sizing down a bookshelf, a black base game bookshelf, and I put it at the top of the curtains to kind of create like a curtain rod effect. I think it gives the windows and the curtains a nicer look compared to just placing curtains by themselves, because then you just have like a weird gap between them. And I think specifically with the Dine Out curtains, they're just so big, they cover the full window, but if you kind of want them to look like you've pulled them to the side the way you probably would in real life, I think the little bookshelf up top kind of just gives it a nicer vibe. I tried to fill up some wall space by adding some art on the walls, again sticking to the same yellows and orange tones that are already inside. I also ended up adding some plants as well, also to the walls. I wanted to add some extra color and variety because it was just kind of very monotone. The brick walls kind of broke the monotone up a little bit, but there was a lot of just black, yellow, orange. nothing more, nothing less. So I think the plants on the walls added a little bit of variety, another color. I ended up putting these green flowery wall plants from seasons on the walls to try and fill up the space. I also used these wall divides from City Living. I'm not really sure how you describe them. They're kind of like, you see them in the video anyway, they're kind of just like little long tall blocks. I'm not sure what they're called in the game, but they are from City Living. And I do think that Get Famous also has something similar, but I thought they looked kind of cool, and they added another kind of like light wood color and just some interest to the walls. As you can see upstairs, I added a stage for a performer or some more tables. You could delete the stage and just add a bigger table. I thought it could be kind of a more exclusive part of the restaurant, either only for celebrities or like special bookings, and obviously that's not how that works in the game, but we can just pretend for fun. Now, I actually don't know if a performer will spawn here, but we can just pretend. And if you're having some kind of special meal or occasion in this restaurant and you're playing in it, you could probably just hire someone to work here, or you could replace the guitar set with a piano and have someone just play piano music, like a entertainer play piano music as your Sims dine upstairs. That's also an idea. Now for the outside, I painted the walls like a light brick color, and as you can see, I ended up adding some of that dark orange outside. I also chose a very minimal landscaping, like it was purposefully landscaped. I only ended up adding a couple of plants leading up to the building, I believe with a light in between them. I don't think I added much else. I think maybe a couple bushes in the back. Very simple landscaping. Very simple landscaping. I think I definitely could have added a couple palm trees in the back, but oh well, I built this like a month ago. Okay, we are slowly coming to the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching, and please subscribe. I will see you all again soon. Enjoy the screenshots.